I have the weight pretty much even on both ski now. I can put the knee in a little bit, put the weight on it, and go right around. Put the knee in, put the weight on it, and go right around.
I'm turning!
Put more weight on it.
I'm turning!
More weight on it, more weight on it. Good, okay. Nothing to it. Easiest thing in the world. Now let's do one to the right and one to the left.
Enough of this little hill stuff. I'm ready for the mountain. Let's go. Piece of cake. Who said skiing was so tough?
See you in the lodge, Ira.
Thank you, John Howe, for making ski mountains a little less terrifying. We'll shush on to the rest of the show in just a minute. If I asked you to count objects you could neither see nor feel, how would you go about doing it? Well, that basically was the problem presented to high school students who were asked to compute the number of helium atoms that fill up the Goodyear Blimp. The prize to those who came up with the answer was a ride aboard the Blimp in Florida. How did it all turn out? That's what we wanted to know. So we traveled to Pompano Beach to meet the winners and learn the answer. Goodyear, DuPont, and Chem Matters magazine sponsored the contest, entered by over 1,400 chemistry students from across the country. How many helium atoms are there inside the Goodyear Blimp? It may sound like an impossible problem, but these three high school students made it seem as easy as 1, 2, 3. Before receiving their well-deserved ride on the Blimp, there was plenty of time for pictures and tours with the pilots. But what do you need to know about the Blimp to answer the question? Well, we'll give you some clues. First, you need to know that the Blimp can hold 202,700 cubic feet of helium. Second, you need to know that the pressure inside the airship is greater than the atmospheric pressure by 1.38 inches of water. And third, you need to know the air pressure and temperature at 5,000 feet, which is the maximum altitude the ship could fly without venting helium. Now, knowing all these facts, how long should it take you to figure out the answer?
Oh, it doesn't take that long. It took me about 25 minutes, maybe.
About 20 minutes. Took longer to write up.
But for most of us who have long ago forgotten our high school chemistry lesson, we don't have the faintest idea about how to turn these facts into a correct answer. Where do you begin?
I used the ideal gas law,
Which is PV equals nRT, where P is pressure, V is volume.
Equals number of moles times the temperature times the constant, which is the ideal gas constant. And the hardest part of the whole thing
would be to take the data and convert all the data into the units of the ideal gas law.
Got that? Now put it all together and you've got the solution.
The answer is 1.26 times 10 to the 29th, and that's really a giant number, because if you wrote it out, you'd have to write 1, 2, 6, and then 27 zeros after it. And I don't think you can really just think of a number like that.
I don't know how to say that in regular terms. I've heard rumors that it was maybe a billion, trillion, but I'm not certain.
My chemistry teacher kind of gave me a good analogy for it, and it's that if you had 10 to the 23rd garden peas, just little peas that you eat for dinner, they would cover the earth 3 feet deep. So it's 1,000,000 times that many. So it's a lot of helium atoms.
And to prove just how big 1.26 times 10 to the 29th really is, the winners stretched out the zeros for all to see. No matter how you look at it, it takes an awful lot of helium atoms to fill the Goodyear Blimp. As for the prize, how about a ride on the Blimp filled with all that helium? It takes 22 people about 20 minutes to prepare for a liftoff. And because we don't have that much time, here's a high-speed condensed version of pre-flight prep, liftoff, and landing. Once the ship was in the air, operation seemed very easy. Foot pedals made it turn right and left. An elevator wheel controls the ascent and descent. Captain Henry eagerly demonstrated how quickly the ship could climb and drop.
You roll the wheel back, the nose will go up into a climb, basically. You roll the wheel forward, and the nose will go down, and you'll descend. And then it will go quite steeply and quite maneuverable, if you believe it.
The captain even gave the prize winners a chance to steer the ship. The view and the ride made this chemistry lesson one they would never forget. Our next guest is one of nature's best construction engineers, a beaver, eagerly assisted by Nancy Gibson of the Minnesota Zoo. Welcome to the program, Nancy.
Thank you.
Let's leave it to you to tell us about the beaver.
Alrighty.
It's a big beaver.
This is a very big beaver. This is Bucky.
Bucky?
He's a 7-year-old male, and he's from the Como Zoo in St. Paul. And he was hand-reared, and we're lucky that he was, because he allowed us to play with him like this and show a lot of the unusual adaptations that beaver have.
Don't try this with a wild animal, is
That's
what you're
right.
saying.
But there's just a lot of interesting things about beavers. He is a nighttime animal, so he's a little sleepy right now, but let's see if we can start with his teeth here and tempt Bucky to stand up for us.
Let's see your teeth. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
going for the
Come on.
cracker.
Yeah, now can you see those orange teeth there?
Yeah, like, well, very fleetingly.
Yeah,
I can see.
fleetingly orange teeth.
Well, why does he have orange teeth?
That's a protective enamel. He's a rodent, the largest rodent in North America, and they have to always chew. Their teeth are always growing, so that enamel actually protects their teeth. And they're almost chisel-like, and of course that makes them able to chew those trees that they're so famous for. Next, he's got these closable ears and nose, and that allows them to go underwater.
They spend a lot of time underwater.
They
right?
certainly do. And then, of course, this gorgeous fur.
Oh, very
Certainly
nice.
the downfall of many beavers also. They've got a couple layers. We can see this outer layer that's long, and
Right.
underneath is a
Oh,
dense underlayer
yeah.
called felt.
That's really where felt comes from?
Right. Except most of what you see in fabric stores is actually synthetic. But interesting, the beaver has probably shaped North American history more than any other animal.
Really? What
It's
reason?
affected where people settled because they wanted to have a good beaver trade, fur trade there. And also they'd use the beaver pelts as currency. And there was a lot of trading going on with beavers. Then let's get down to this interesting foot that he's got. If you'll let us take a look here.
Okay, come on, Bucky. Let's see your foot.
He's got
Oh,
a
it's very
web.
leathery.
Yeah, very leather and quite webbed. And also on there's a split nail right there, and they
Oh,
use
yeah.
that for grooming.
You mean they really like to make them preen themselves and
Oh yeah,
make sure
they
the
have to
fur
keep
is
their fur in
straight?
very good shape. Then of course this tail is so interesting.
This is the real interesting. Now the
Get
thing
him
is,
to turn
it's scaly. You know, it's like it has little fish scales on it.
That's
It's
right.
not smooth.
That's right. And they'll use this for a rudder to manipulate through the water, and they'll also use it to slap on the water in case there's danger around. And also it stores fat. And in
Stores
fact, some
fat.
Native Americans actually ate the tail.
Now, of course, beavers are famous for cutting down trees and building dams, and I don't understand any about this being a city boy, so I want you to tell me what they're doing when they do all this stuff.
Great. We have a videotape from the Minnesota Zoo.
Okay.
And we see our dominant male here about to cut a tree. And last year, during the fall season, our colony of 10 beavers actually cut down almost 800 trees.
That colony's 800 trees?
That's right.
That's a lot of trees.
Now, we actually bolt the trees into the ground, and they will come over and try to lift them out first, but of course we try to do that pretty tight. So they're rather smart. Now watch this timber.
Oh, get out of the way. Oh, smart enough to get out of the way of that
He
one.
gets out of the way.
All right,
That's
now he's cut the tree down.
Cut the tree down using those sharp teeth. Now he's going to go underwater. And first thing you're going to see, he's going to go over his dam.
All
Now,
right, let's stop you right there. Why do they build a dam? I don't understand
they
why.
build a dam in order to keep the water deep so it doesn't freeze.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that way they can get underwater to their food cache, which is what they're preparing for right now. They will they arrange all these aspens, alders, and willows in a arrangement so they can get under the water and eat off them during the wintertime, especially the young ones. The adults will slow down the metabolism in the wintertime, live off some of that fat in their tail.
So they don't live in the dam then? They just
No,
use that to... Where do they live?
They live in a lodge.
Of course, where would a beaver live? But in a
Beaver
lodge.
lodge, right. They always have an underwater entrance to the lodge, and that's another protective reasoning for the dam. It's very deep.
I get it. Okay.
Bucky, you want to wake up here? And The other interesting thing about beavers is, they're wonderful conservationists. They've really made homes for about 50 different types of animals.
Oh, so other animals depend on beavers for their homes.
That's
as well.
right. And also, they're nature's conservationists. They are using them now to control erosion and also control water, make stable water levels.
Because they're such good dam builders. Why
Yeah.
why have the Army Corps of Engineers build a dam
That's right.
when you could have a
when
beaver?
You've got Bucky right here.
Very, very interesting. Well, now he seems to be
Very content now that he's eating.
And of course, they're not the kind of animals you want to bring home and make pets out of.
No, and they're not endangered, but they certainly have been pushed almost to extinction because of their fur trade. But now they have that under control, and they do manage it. And the beavers are from all over, most of North America and into Mexico, Alaska, Canada, Europe, really widespread animal.
Very, very interesting. Well, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Bucky, for being so cooperative.
My name is Pearson Cohn, and I'm a Chicagoan, and I have a baseball question for Newton's Apple on the use of aluminum baseball bats. My question is, what advantage do these bats give to the average player?
Good question. Of course, physics tells us that aluminum bats give batters an advantage. But to understand the science, you've got to get the mechanics down first. Well, you think you could teach me how to swing this bat and become a real hitter?
Well, I can just show you, what I've learned so far in my career.
All right, what's important?
Okay, first of all, are you a right-hand hitter or left?
I'm a right-hand hitter.
Okay, so your right eye is the dominant eye. So you want to open yourself up and make sure that you can see the pitcher, see the ball out of the pitcher's hands. Make sure you can see everything. Don't let your nose, your nose can get in the way. And
Especially
things like
my
that.
nose, it'll get in the way fine.
Well, anybody's nose can get in the way, but you want to make sure you can see the ball at all times. Okay, you get in a position to stay. I lift my front leg, okay, and it makes my waist stay back, and I try to get my hands from here to here. And you want to get right there.
You want to bring the bat around quickly, right?
You're not going to always do it. Sometimes the pitcher's going to get in on you and things like that. So you just do the best you can. I understand you haven't hit in a while, so it'll be a lot of fun.
You think I could take a few swings and you can tell me what I'm doing wrong?
Sure, go ahead.
I'll
A
try
lot
to
of
see.
pine tar on there. You can try it.
All right, now I get comfortable with the bat, right?
Right. Get comfortable.
Want to get comfortable?
Okay.
Then I want to get my batting eye, the right eye, pointed out toward the pitcher.
Yeah.
That's right?
Yeah.
And now I want to find a way that I can bring the bat around quickly.
That's it. From there
Okay.
to the front. That's it.
Around there quickly. That doesn't look so tough.
That's not tough at all.
Except I'm ready for Ron Guidry, I think.
Well, let's go get him then. What do you think?
Let's go ahead.
see.
Luckily, Ron Guidry was busy, so Twins coach Tom Kelly volunteered to step in, and he seemed to be a little more my speed.
Stay in there. Stay back. Oh, geez. He's just swinging everything like me.
I got a piece of 6 of 20 pitches,
I don't know, Ira. I think you better stick to TV.
and this was my hit.
Come on, hit one good for me right here.
Hey!
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, buddy, you're welcome. Huh?
Thanks for your help.
All right.
And they laughed when I stepped up to the plate. Actually, hitting a baseball is one of the most difficult feats in all of sports, and some people believe that the use of a metal baseball bat can actually make you a better hitter.